The Koenigsegg, I just spent about 50 grand on a service on this car, but I don't think next year it'll be 50 grand. I think that was more like kind of a one-time thing. So I'd say about 100 grand.
What'd you have to get done for 50?
So the car it needed a handful of things. I took the car to Florida for a top speed event. I was able to effectively like rent out a runway and do a top speed run. And I hit up Koenigsegg, the factory, and I wanted to get the car fully dialed in because what I was doing was very risky and I didn't want to die. And so they went through the entire car. We got brand new tires. We upgraded the fuel pumps for maximum performance. We upgraded the aero. We resealed a bunch of the stuff on the exterior. There was a couple other minor little things just to ensure maximum top speed. Now, a lot of the things we did, I probably could have gotten away with that without doing, but it was for the top speed event. I wanted it done because the last thing you want to do is blow a tire when you could have bought brand new tires and,
What was your top speed?
So it was 224 miles an hour.
What's the fastest you've ever gone in a
224.
Was that freaky?
Were you terrified?
It was terrifying.
Because I feel like at that speed, if there's one thing that goes wrong, you could
you're
die.
done for. You're absolutely done for. Now, I picked the right environment. So the runway I was on was like, a couple miles long, perfectly flat, closed down runway, obviously. The car had been fully serviced. The Koenigsegg techs flew from Sweden out to Arizona to service the car, brand new tires. So it was the right environment. The runway at the Kennedy Space Center is, I don't know, 500 meters wide. I mean, it was just like the right environment, right? So from that standpoint, I did my due diligence. But it's still terrifying, right? I mean, I'm not a professional driver. I didn't have a support team out there. I'm also filming a YouTube video. So I go out there. It's Florida in March. It's a billion degrees out. The humidity's off the charts. I'm sweating like crazy. I got to put on a full race suit, racing helmet. I'm also trying to film a video that is mildly entertaining. I'm setting up GoPros, making sure the batteries are charged. I have the Draggy mounted to the windshield as well. And we have 4 hours. We have 4 hours to do all of this, but I want to work my way up to it, right? Like you don't just get in the car and just pen it immediately. And so, the first run I went out and I was planning to do like 180 and I was feeling so confident I just hit 207.
Wow.
But the issue you run into is that cars can heat soak. So as soon as you do this top speed run, the engine gets so hot, you're going to diminish your performance a lot. So you really need to let the car cool down for as long as you really can to then run it again. But remember, we're in Florida. Humidity is off the charts and we only have 4 hours. And I want to do as many runs as I possibly can, but I also want to work my way up to it. So I don't want to just pen it immediately and try to hit 240. So I want to do that warm-up run. And, with all the filming, et cetera, before I knew it, it's 10:30 and we have to be off the runway at noon. And I've only done one run at 207 and the car is still, it's just heat soaked. And so it was a very, very good learning lesson for me. I only did one run where I actually fully penned it from beginning to end. And unfortunately, I bounced off the rev limiter in 6th gear to 7th gear. So I lost some power there. It was a great experience, but it was terrifying. It was scary.
So what do you need to do to get it to 240?
Temperature would make a big difference. So if I was to go there in January, that would help a lot. I want to say it was 80 degrees. If it would have been, 50, 60 degrees, that would have had a big impact. Obviously not bouncing off the rev limiter. That was a rookie mistake. I probably lost a handful of miles per hour there. And the big thing is the heat soaking. So figuring out a way to cool the car down. When you watch these manufacturers go and set these top speed production world record times, they have a team of 17 engineers, right, that are dialing the car in. They have a big tent. They have a bunch of fans that are cooling the engine down, et cetera, et cetera. And that would make a big impact, being able to get the car to its optimal running temperature. So doing the run earlier in the morning would help. Probably not filming it, honestly, would have a big impact. The fact that I'm an amateur driver, like if I went and did it again, I'd have so much more confidence that I think I could go a lot faster, partly because I wouldn't have to do the warm up. Because I did like 207, 214, 220, and then 224. So I did it 4 times. But I think if I went back and did it again, I would feel pretty confident to do 150 mile an hour. So I didn't heat soak the car, go back, let the car sit for an hour, and then just go full send. And try to do it at 6 a.m. 6 a.m., 7 a.m., do it in January when the temps are perfect. I think that would help a lot. I also don't know if this car, the crazy thing about this car, it's an Agera S. Koenigsegg never tested the top speed of this car. So nobody actually truly knows if it could hit 240 or 250.